with Steve and known him for the past 7 years. And I think when you think of Steve, you know, you think of many different characteristics. You know, a Christian to the core, right? He certainly is. Capable, well-read academic, a visionary that has an entrepreneurial spirit. And I think many of us have seen and experienced that. And a caring person, very caring, and one who has a unique ability to assess and pretty much identify people based on their gifts. And I want to add another one, which is basically a true friend. So I want to say a few things. But you know, there's an important qualification that I believe, Steve, that you have, and I think the rest of us around the room can certainly relate to that, and that is, I think Steve epitomizes servant leadership. You know, that's a term that's been around for 50 years. Greenleaf coined it back in the early 70s, and it's a philosophy and it's an approach where one enriches the lives of other individuals, builds better organizations, and certainly creates a more just and caring world. I've spent many years in the corporate world, and I can tell you servant leadership in the corporate world is almost non-existent. There, it's the traditional leadership by power, right? And individuals accumulate power and they exercise their power, and if you're the top guy at the top of the pyramid, your word goes, okay? Well, servant leadership is the antithesis of that, certainly, and Steve, I think, exhibits that, certainly, sharing power, putting the needs of others first, and helping people develop and perform to the best of their abilities, and that's Steve. And there are a lot of advocates, certainly, of servant leadership. I think those of us who've been around and done some reading, Ken Blanchard is one, certainly, that exemplifies it. His book, Lead Like Jesus, is certainly a book and an approach that exemplifies the servant leadership. Stephen Covey and the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Executives certainly does. Peter Senge, a person that came to Ford and presented the 5th discipline, another one. And even in our own backyard, Max Dupree and his life and his book, The Leadership Art. They all exemplify, but you know, when I look at Steve hasn't written the book yet, but his servant leadership manner and his example has written himself into the lives of us who are here today and many of the students. And so you have impacted and written yourself into the lives of numerous students. You've impacted and written yourself into the hearts and lives of us, your co-workers at CFL and your faculty. And so you've written yourself into the very fabric and growth of CFL, and for that we really want to thank you. We really appreciate your impact on us, the students in the college. So we praise God for you, and we now ask that He will bless you in your new venture at Trinity. We'll miss you, we love you, we'll miss you, but we ask for God's blessing. And now, you can take my line that I use so often, and I give you the permission to say that I'm on my way to save the day.